Hello everyone, this is Justin Haney, and this is my 850 Module 12 case study. Section 1, we're going to talk about the case summary. The situation: Mrs. Lynn, a teacher in a rural school district, has illegally copied software and distributed it in the school. Parties involved is Mrs. Lynn, myself the principal, Mrs. Brandon, Mrs. Williams, PTA, and the PTA president. The situation is Mrs. Lynn, the computer lab teacher, also media specialist in the library, has put the district in legal risk by copying protected software. Mrs. Brandon has brought this to my attention but doesn't want to cause staff friction. Mrs. Lynn is disputing that this is not a big deal when I brought it to her attention. We are in a rural school district, grades level K through 8. The situation currently involves second, third, and fourth grade teachers and approximately 420 students. Legal and ethical issues. Mrs. Lynn has broken distribution rights on software that was purchased for the computer lab. Copyright laws state that the copyrighted software cannot be reproduced and distributed beyond its license amount. Complexity of the situation: this puts herself, school, and the district in major legal and possible financial risk. Being in a rural school district, we're also limited in funding and must find a way to provide our teachers and students with the resources they need to succeed at a high level. Synthesis of the issue: Mrs. Lynn's decision to illegally copy software and distribute it within the school has put our small school in potential legal liability and created uneasy feelings among some staff. We must find a way to legally provide the software to our staff and students to promote their success. Facts: the people, again, Mrs. Lynn, myself the principal, Mrs. Williams, Mrs. Brandon, the PTA, and the PTA president. Place, like I said, rural school district. We're about 25 miles away from a large city. We are in a low school budget. Program, second, third, and fourth grades. And then we're all sharing one computer lab that has the software on them. The computer lab is in constant use, and several teachers approached Mrs. Lynn about putting the programs on the computers in their classrooms. Copies were made and distributed to these. Review and prioritize. Stakeholders at risk are the students. Effective learning if the programming is not available to meet their needs. Myself, possible effect on school culture. Community criticism if things don't go well. Kids and staff aren't getting the things that they need. And then a possible lawsuit against the school. Mrs. Lynn, copyright legal issues could put her in legal issues financially. Staff relations, causing issues if people aren't comfortable using that software and she's pushing it upon them. Mrs. Brandon, criticized by staff as someone that's not easy to get along with or being a team player. And then the PTA, me, is lose faith in my ability to lead and manage issues. Unknowns. I don't know if we've looked into other means of gaining more licenses to the software by use of grants, requesting use from the manufacturer, etc. Here are my 4 options that I've come up with. Option 1, no action. Allow Mrs. Lynn to continue to distribute the licensed software. Option 2, collect and stop production. Collect all and destroy all copies of the software that were distributed. Ensure Mrs. Lynn will no longer reproduce the material. Option 3, no future production. Allow the copies of the programs that have been handed out to the single classrooms to remain in use, but ask Mrs. Lynn to never reproduce that copyrighted material again. Option 4, collect, train, and look for resources. Collect the material that has been copied, train staff on copyright laws, look for ways to get more licenses to the software. Breaking down each option. Option 1, pros of doing nothing. Don't have to work through any conflict resolution. We save the school money. Students will have better access to the program, resulting in improved student learning. Cons: major legal issues, breaking copyright laws, loss of staff respect for allowing teachers in our school to break copyright laws. Option 2, collect and stop production. Pros, takes us out of the legal risk. Demonstrates to staff that we must abide by the law. Cons, students will have less access to the software and learning will be affected. Building climate among staff could be damaged. There could be hurt feelings or relations towards Mrs. Brandon as somebody that doesn't like to get along with people. PTA might not fully understand the situation and may judge me for this decision. Option 3, no future production but allow the materials that have already been copied to remain in class. Pros, teachers are able to keep the software in their classroom, keep teachers happy, and have student improvement. Copyright laws will still be broken, but no more in the future. School is saving money on the current software. Cons, some staff are left in an uncomfortable situation using pirated material. The legal risk still remains because we are breaking copyright laws by using copied material. And the school climate still can be negatively affected as some teachers would not be comfortable in this situation. Option 4, collect, train, and look for resources. Brings staff attention to legal risk of copyrighted material. Mend staff relationships by bringing us together and kind of talking about resolutions and what we can and can't do. Find a new way to provide access for the students with that material and gets us out of legal issues. Cons, possibly not find a way to provide access for that copyrighted program. If we can't find funding or if the copyrighted material cannot be easily accessed, it could ultimately not allow it for the single-use classrooms. My choice is going to be option 4, to collect, train, and look for resources. My reasoning behind this, for all stakeholders, I feel this is the best option. By collecting the copyrighted material, it takes us out of legal risk. Training staff will help bring attention to the copyright laws while also mending possibly damaged relationships. Looking for alternate means of acquiring the software will allow teachers to have their classroom, to have it in their classroom. This will also allow a greater chance of student achievement while also saving the school money. Implementing my decision. First, I'm going to meet with Mrs. Lynn and let her know the plan of action. Letting her know this is not an attack on her, but just a requirement to keep us safe and out of legal issues. I believe in, letting staff know your decisions, the reason behind it, is super important. Transparency and getting people involved in decision making is a great aspect of being a good leader. Number 2, collect all copies of the software that is not licensed. This will keep us out of the legal issues. Step 3, create and communicate a presentation on copyright laws and policies to the staff. This will help ensure that we are all on the same page on the copyright materials and helps build staff rapport and camaraderie. Step number 4, put a team together, possibly Mrs. Lynn, Mrs. Brandon, Mrs. Williams, and a PTA member, along with myself, to research alternate means of acquiring more software. This would include reaching out to the company directly and possibly let them know our situation of small district, letting them know that we already have spent money on the software and possibly getting a little more access for our single-use classrooms. We could also look for grants, federal and state funding, district funds, and possibly getting local donations. This wraps up my case study. I hope you all had enjoyed my presentation here and have a good rest of your semester. Thank you.